WBC also ordered. I guess the welterweight division is like a clusterfuck right now, because the welterweight division, Errol Spence has three mandatories. The WBA wants theirs. The WBC just announced that they ordered him to fight Keith Thurman, so he's been ordered to fight Stanionis and Keith Thurman, and there's still been no decision made for the IBF, which hasn't ordered a mandatory in 4 years. So, like, what's your thoughts on Spence being ordered to fight Keith Thurman, even though Stanionis and Boots were supposed to be first?
With all that being said, to be honest, I think the best fight for Spence is Keith Thurman. Somebody he knows, somebody he's been back and forth with, so there's a little build up there, and I think it's less risk. Not because Thurman is not good enough. Thurman is definitely a tough fighter, but he hasn't shown the same strengths of a Stanionis or the same strengths of a Boots Ennis. And he's getting older as well, so I think Spence fighting him is the safer way to go. Even though Thurman can make this a hell of a fight for for Spence, because he has awkward movement, he can still punch a little, and his speed is deceiving. All the shit with the sanctioning bodies, I don't understand how that works, to be honest, where they step on each other's head and one can demand and one really don't want to demand, as long as somebody holding the belt. I don't really get how all that go, but I just think, that's the smarter way to go. So I would go with that fight.
I've always wanted to see this fight.
Right.
But I feel like Undisputed is going out the window with everybody wanting to order their mandatory at the same time.
Right.
So that it feels like that's something that we're just never going to get.
Right.
Because if the WBA and WBC both say now, like, what are you going to do?
You got to pick a way, whichever means much to him. But I would go with the WBC mandatory, which is Keith Thurman, and fight Keith Thurman, because Keith Thurman got the bigger name out of all those guys. Boots is on the rise, and we know Boots, but Boots is younger. He could wait another year. Stanionis could wait another year, but Keith Thurman and Spence, they don't really have too much time left. They got time left, but they got shorter time than the younger guys. So I would say go ahead and take Keith Thurman, get him popping.
I've always wanted to see the Keith Thurman fight, but I got to play devil's advocate for somebody like Stanionis that's taking step-aside money already once. How long are we expecting these kids to wait? Right. Especially when looking down at 35, you seen Devin's undisputed. Shakur done got he done won 3 belts in 2 divisions. Right. Like, is it fair that we keep putting them off because of the politics in the welterweighting division?
It's definitely not fair. And what I would do is I would have Spence give one of them belts up, because you can't fight 2 people at one time. And it is kind of selfish to hold on if you ain't gonna make those fights happen. And Bud already made a move, so I would say just give one of them up, because you already plan on moving up anyway. And even though they have plans of being undisputed, it's just like at this point it don't look like it's gonna happen. So give one of them joints up, let Boots and Stanionis fight for it. I think that'd be fair.